There's this place that I've been following for a while on Instagram. It's called Landbeasts. And they often show some of the cars that they've got there. So they kind of have a collection, plus they do servicing and they work on cars, but they also sell some cars. But primarily it seems to be a collection that the owner has. And some of the cars that they show, as you will see in this video, I look at them and I'm like, you know, if I had a dream garage, many of these cars would be in my dream garage too. So I'm out and about today and I'm heading over to East London. So I thought, let's pay them a visit and let's go and check out this Aladdin's cave of incredible modern classics, I think is correct to say. So right after this, we're going to have a special walk around and see what they've got.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Hey, how you doing, Kay? You're Kay, right?
I am Kay, brown car guy. I recognise your cap.
And I recognise you from all the great Instagram videos you do.
Welcome to Landbeasts.
I've been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this. This is an amazing collection of cars you've got here.
It is indeed.
So why don't you show me around some of these amazing beasts that we've got here?
Just mind you don't trip over trickle chargers.
We'll try and do our best, yeah.
Microfibres. So this is Adnan's private collection of classics, which he's
So
built
Adnan is the owner, founder of Landbeasts.
He is indeed. Yeah. He had these cars way before Landbeasts was created, and way before I started working here, which was, I started here in about, 2012. I've been working as his PA.
So quite a while.
So yeah, quite a long time, and he had quite a lot of these cars.
And what drew you to working here? Is this you're into cars? Clearly, I can see that from your videos.
Yeah, fell into this job, and I've been here ever since. And yeah, I'm not leaving anytime soon. So anyone who's looking for a job to take my place, it's not happening.
I can't blame you for that, especially like for straight away. I mean, okay, Lamborghini Aventador, we all know what that is, but again, NSX. And it's inextricably linked with the great art in Senna. This car has now taken on legendary proportions.
It's absolutely mental. I mean, just Japanese cars in general, sometimes we have customers that come in just to say hello, or if they're dropping off their cars in our workshop, and they'll walk in here, and there's only a handful of cars that will attract their attention. I assumed it would automatically be a Lamborghini, or it might be the Audi R8, modern stuff, but no, it's either NSX or the UK Supra.
I have to be honest, I hadn't even noticed there was an Audi R8 in it.
This is the thing. Sometimes I feel like they're out of place in a showroom like this.
I have to be honest with the viewers. I have already walked around here once, and I didn't even notice it that time.
No, you didn't, did you?
But this thing is, this is a manual, which is the correct way to have them, because the automatics on these weren't that great. I've driven both, and the manual is definitely the one. Now you have a 911 here,
we do.
And when I think 911, when I close my eyes and I think 911,
do you see this?
This is basically what I see. A Targa,
Absolutely.
big wings, this era, the G-body as some people call it. This is what I think.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind. For me, it's always this whale-tail spoiler that comes to mind when you think of a 911. All this modern stuff. Yeah. It doesn't appeal to me. Yeah. We've also got, if you're into Porsches, we've got 928.
Yes.
Have you seen that one?
Well, we'll have a look at that. And 928, actually, I was fortunate enough to have as my car when I was in Dubai in December, because I had a black one. Yeah, so I had a black one for a few days. But this is, to me, this is a proper 911 because it's visceral, it's real, it's the right sort of size. And, so much of my youth is, I know this car from movies, from TV shows and stuff like that. It's incredible.
Iconic, it is. I think a lot of these cars here, Adnan, he's heavily into films. Yeah. So he has been influenced by quite a lot of films. Yeah. And it's just, just by chance that, like I said, I mentioned the Supra earlier. Yeah. He bought the car not because of Fast and Furious. He just bought the car because he wanted a Supra. Yeah. And then obviously Fast and Furious was released and it just went absolutely mental. So when I am on TikTok Live and things like that, people say, oh my God, is that a Supra? Oh my God, is that an NSX? And then when obviously they see the fastback behind you, it's like,
well, we'll come to this in a minute because I'm trying to avoid look at that because literally I'll have a moment otherwise. But literally you just mentioned Supra. And of course the car behind you is also a Supra. That's
Celica
a Celica Supra.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really wanted to come up and see you guys today is because I've seen your content and you do some amazing stuff on Instagram. And tell everybody where they can follow you.
You can follow us on obviously TikTok, YouTube, Instagram and Facebook.
And it's just Landbeasts.
Landbeasts, yeah. Just type in Landbeasts and We're everywhere, even on Google. Check out our Google reviews.
Yeah, you do some amazing stuff, absolutely brilliant. And you caught my attention with the cars that you were reviewing and that you were talking about. And one of the cars was this one. I don't know if it was you or Adnan who was talking about this car, but this relates to me because I used to own one of these. And for me, it was my proxy esprit. At the time, because I wanted to buy, actually at the time, I was actually saving up to buy a Capri, a 2.8.
Okay.
And then a journalist friend of mine turned up in one of these, and I'm like, why have you got that? And he says, I want to get rid of it. So I said, I've got $2,000 in my pocket, and he goes, it's yours. And it has remained in probably one of my top 3 cars I've ever owned, has been this Supra. And to see you guys have one of these, in this condition, it's fantastic.
All of these cars here have been kept really well. They never get driven out in rain or out when it's snowing, you know, with the grit on the roads. Adnan's very anal. You will see from the amount of Kirkland's microfiber cloths we've got dotted around. He's got probably
whole stack of them over there
in every glove box. This car is just phenomenal. When we went out...
May I?
You can indeed, yep. When we went out... just the digital dash in itself.
Yes, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I bought it.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, to think that was out in the 80s.
Yes. So
80s?
the one I had. This must be an 84, 85, I think.
Yes.
I think because mine was an 84, and I also had the extended wheel arches, which this one has as well. And I had the digital dash, and of course pop-up headlights. So it's like, come on.
Who doesn't love pop-up headlights? And that is actually a topic I discussed yesterday on my live.
There you go. Exactly. So this was amazing.
And look at this. Look at this. So although it says do not touch, it also says do not touch unless naked. So guys, if you want to touch something in here.
Yes, that's a prerequisite you must be aware of if you come to Landbeasts. Make sure you're buff. And that also is quite a rarity back there.
Yes,
the Mitsubishi Starion.
And there is someone, I'll give him a shout out actually, San Diego Starions. He's based somewhere in obviously San Diego. He maintains Starions, but he has been after right-hand drive for so long.
Oh, really?
And
this is one of those?
We landed on his FYP page, and he has been hounding us every time to ask if Adnan's selling it, and I have to say the same thing. No, it's not for sale.
It's not for sale.
Not for sale.
So most of the cars that we see in here are Adnan's collection. So they're not. But they always say that everything is for sale at the right price.
Everything is for sale at the right price, but something you may or may not gather already about him, he's a hoarder. Yeah. I mean, you've got alloy wheels up there. Yeah. You've got his chopper from like the 70s.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
He seems to collect things and never...
Well, one of the things I spotted in your office earlier was a model of Lee Majors' Action Man.
Yeah, Bionic. Bionic Man?
Yeah, the $6 million man, the Bionic Man.
He was actually gifted that.
Really?
One of his good friends gave it to him, and he took it out of the box. It was all wrapped up in like a shoe box. And he took it out, and I said, what is that? I mean, I was around when Power Rangers were around and Superman, but I said to him, I said, what is that? And why does his eye look like that?
Because you could look through the back of it, because he had a bionic eye.
That's just a whole nother world for me.
No, to be honest, I actually had one of those as well, but sadly, I don't have one now, because I'm sure it's worth a lot of money. Talking of which, this is such a rarity. You talk about rarity, but a Bluebird Coupe?
Yeah, this is insane.
I mean, the last time I saw Bluebirds was when I was, so I grew up in Saudi Arabia. So when I was living in Saudi Arabia, quite a few friends of mine had Bluebirds, but not the two doors, although I did see a two-door there. But this is so rare. And apparently a lot of work's been done to this.
It has, yeah. So the story, well, you'll see if you scroll back through, I think, our YouTube and some of our social media. So this was apparently parked up at the side of the road. Adnan drove past it one day and said, I want it. So it had a lot of rust on the arches. So he's got everything is documented with him. He's got photographs of all the rust being cut out, putting wider arches, changing the wheels, and then these wing mirrors, I think they were up there, but he's moved them down to the original
that's the correct position according to Japan. And I think he was mentioning to me when I spoke to him earlier that these alone are about 600 quid each.
They're very expensive. Some of these cars, the parts for them, you wouldn't realize unless you start searching for them, like that SEC that we've got in our workshop. The bonnet alone is about £800 to £900.
Wow.
So it's...
But the SEC, I mean, that's a car, that's a proper Mercedes.
Yeah,
right there,
that is. That's when Mercedes built Mercedes.
Yeah. And this is the 928 that you were mentioning earlier.
Again, pop-up headlamps. People will remember this from Scarface and Risky Business.
Risky Business, Tom Cruise,
So somebody said they didn't like this because of the way the window sat at the rear. I don't know why.
I mean, the rear is iconic on this car because of if you think about when this came out.
Integrated bumpers as well.
It had reforming bumpers, so that if you hit them, they would come back into shape.
Yeah.
And at the time when this came out, this shape, I mean, there was nothing like it. You know, this looked like it had dropped in from outer space, honestly.
Well, it still looks like this. Sometimes when we go out for coffee or lunch or something and it's parked up on the road, people do stop and just stare at it and think, what is that? I think the main giveaway is the wheels.
It's amazing, but it's still very contemporary. It still looks very much today. Like it could be made today and it would be okay.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, if you look at some of the Porsche designs, which we spoke about, we went past the dealership, I think in Galleon's Reach in E16, and just the shape, like it looks like a door wedge, but if you have a look at some of the new Porsches nowadays, the front end is very similar. Yeah. Very, very similar. But
it's an icon, an absolute icon. But you're talking about stuff that lands from outer space, and then we move on to that, which of course...
This spaceship, my favourite. If I had to pick one car in the entire showroom, it'd be this.
Really? Yeah. This is your personal favourite?
This was my late father's dream car.
Right.
And on my 5th birthday, he gave me a remote control version of this. And I didn't think they ever existed because I was only 5 at the time. And you never saw them on the road. Yeah. And when I started working for Adnan, he had this and he also had a 6-litre Diablo.
Wow.
And he said, I've got one of those. And I said, no, you don't. He said, I have. So one day he came to work in the Diablo and took me to where this was parked. Before Landbeasts was created, he had various garages, etc. And I just looked at that and I thought, oh my God, it's alive. Yeah. Phenomenal number plate, Dream, candy apple.
Oh, very nice.
Red.
That's very cool.
Very rare colour as well. So the one you saw in our storage, that's a customer's, that is just red, but this is candy apple. So you can see the orange.
And candy apple is a very custom paint job. In America, a lot of hot rods and stuff, they have that. And he was also telling me that this is a car that gets used. It doesn't just sit here.
Yeah. He drives it. I mean, it's noisy, but you know what? When you're sitting in something like this,
it's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
For me, they're very special because the first ever supercar I reviewed when I was 21 years old
was one of these.
Was a Countach. Yeah.
Wow. And the reason he bought this was because he went to the cinema.
Right.
And I think you saw Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run, absolutely.
So a lot of people his age can relate to that as well.
I still maintain...
Everyone's poster.
It was the Lamborghini Countach was the ultimate poster car for several generations, I would say.
I think it still is.
And possibly still is. But when you think supercar, this is what you think.
This is,
This is it. And the opening sequence to Cannonball Run, the original Cannonball Run, the first one, I still maintain it is the best opening sequence of any movie ever.
It is.
You know, maybe Italian Job comes a close second.
Oh,
the
I
beginning
don't know.
of Italian
I'd have to agree to disagree,
but Cannonball Run, the opening with the black Lamborghini, can't be beat. Absolutely can't be beat.
And we do watch that on numerous occasions. Just a quick clip on YouTube.
I can't blame you for that. But we're talking about movie cars. I mean, there's no car that makes you feel more like a movie star than a Ford Mustang, than a classic fastback Ford Mustang.
This one also gets driven quite a lot. And even though it's black, it attracts a hell of a lot of attention. This is a nut and bolt, well, it's not even restoration, he actually built this car.
Wow.
Way before Landbeasts was created. Everything from picking colour schemes, dechroming of certain areas, the wheels, the interior. He loves music as well, so he put in a sound system. Open that, there you go, look, another microfibre sitting on the seat. So if you...
But it's got a big old sound system in this as well, Great steering wheel. I love the iconic, double bubble dashboard of these Mustangs, and which they've got rid of on the latest ones.
It absolutely roars. So, I mean, this is just...
And very sensitively done. So, I mean, a lot of people lower them too much and they put the rims are too... But these are just right.
Yeah. I mean, here it's all about... Yes, it is all about all things classic. All this modern stuff doesn't really appeal to us. Yes, we do servicing, detailing, the rest of it. So if there is anyone interested and they've got an issue with a modern car, not a problem, we deal with it. But in terms of classics, there's not many people around or mechanics around that know how to maintain these cars. Everything is more or less electric now, isn't it? You've got to plug in a computer or etc. to reset.
Do you think it's becoming more and more difficult? I mean, to find the sort of the staff or the people that have the experience and the skill sets to work on cars like this?
Yeah, I think so, because nowadays, if you're looking to study mechanics, you don't work on engines like this. You're working on engines that belong to a 488 or an Aventador. You know, so to work on classics like this, very simple, very, very simple. So yeah, if we have had people come in and say, you know, are you looking for an apprentice? But they don't know about these classics.
I tell you what, I probably missed the last 4 words you said because I was just sinking into, or just diving into the paintwork on that thing.
It's insane,
it's just gorgeous,
but
isn't
if you look closely, I'm going to have a word with Adnan because that is just disgraceful.
Oh yeah.
The little splash
But the thing is, the
marks.
finishing on it is just terrific.
It is, right?
Absolutely amazing.
And
what an icon.
It's quite sad when you see the cars parked in here. Yes, you appreciate them, but it's like they're squashed together.
Yeah.
When they're outside, you appreciate
they come alive.
them a lot more. Yeah, absolutely, they come alive. Yeah. So, I mean, being a female, you come into the office, you come smelling of perfume, and you know, you leave stinking of petrol fumes. And do you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, you know, that could be a cologne in itself, let's be honest, you know. These are really rocketing up in value right now, aren't they?
These are indeed. So
this is an RS 500 Cosworth. Yeah.
And this one is number 400 and... There's a plaque in it, 439 out of 500.
So this has actually got the plaques in there,
yeah?
There you go. You know, to think that these are basically just a Sierra, but then all of a sudden they're special because they're Cosworths.
I don't understand. I mean, when I was a young girl, many, many years ago, I was actually dropped to school in one of these. And now it's, I mean, they sold one recently at auction, didn't they? Yeah. For a ridiculous amount of money.
And you close to $500,000 or something, it's gone crazy, yeah.
And when this arrived here, everyone around this industrial estate just went absolutely mental, yeah.
You know, a lot of classic cars and the existence of the classic cars and the mythology around them is to do with how they relate to you in your life.
Yeah.
So I think that when you see people that we would call them modern classics, but these are cars that we relate to because they're cars that we aspired to own or wanted to own. Talking of which, the Fast and Furious generation are just going to lose it right now.
Yeah, they're going to go mental.
You've got a Supra in here of that era.
A UK Supra, unmolested.
Oh, this is a UK.
This is a UK one because it's got glass headlights, it's got these washers, it's got the hood scoop. And sorry to disappoint you guys, this one is an auto, but you know what? It's just as nice.
But you know, being a sort of a Japanese muscle car, the auto kind of suits it, doesn't it, really?
It works. Yeah. I've had the pleasure of driving this, and it's just as quick. I'll come around the other side, and the window's open so you can have a quick look inside.
The proper big wing on the back of this.
Yeah.
So cool.
I mean, it's just nice. It's just...
That is beautiful. Absolutely iconic.
We have had a lot of people comment and say, why did you get an auto?
Yeah.
But Adnan prefers autos.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes there are some cars that you want to change gears. Like, I mean, the 911, you'd have to have it as a manual. The NSX, definitely, because the autos weren't that good.
Yeah.
But cars like this and the Mustang, sometimes they do work,
And also, I think what people forget is, with classics, you don't drive them like an absolute loon. Yeah. You drive them to enjoy them, and you treat them with respect.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's changed now, is that the classics have taken on a different life. Because now, when I review a classic, I don't review it like a new car. Because it's not about its dynamics, it's not about its controls, it's about what it represents and how it makes you feel.
How it makes you, it's the feeling of being in one of these. And Adnan says to a lot of customers who buy classics from us, and they say, treat the car like how you would treat an old lady. Yeah. They're fragile. Yeah. Treat them with respect and the car will respect you. Yeah. Maintain it, you know, do an oil service at least once a year. Do the MOT if it needs an MOT. Just look after her and don't be stupid with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all we say.
Well, hey guys, while I've got your attention, make sure that you hit like, share and subscribe and support independent journalism channels like mine. You can do that at patreon.com, coffee.com, and of course right here on YouTube you can take out a voluntary paid subscription, or you can buy my books. I've got 3 books out at the moment: a full action thriller, The Ulez Files, a collection of short stories, The Quantum Races, and How to Do What I Do, How to Be an Automotive Content Creator. All of those books are on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. If you buy any of those books, I'll be grateful, but if you buy all 3, I'll enter you into a prize draw to win this keyring and badge. This is an exclusive set. There's only 20 of these. 2 of them have already gone out, so there's still 18 left of these to be won if you buy all 3 of these books and send me proof that you have them. Now back to the video.
We say.
Although this is a little bit of a racy number, isn't it?
Oh, this is indeed. So this has been in the same family for about 5 years.
All right.
It's been fully restored.
And this is a Cosworth. This is a 190E 2.3.
2.360.
And this one's for sale.
Yes.
For
So this
34,000.
one we may be buying it off the customer, but it's just immaculate. Did you see the other one in the workshop?
No.
Is that in the workshop or is that outside?
I think there was one outside. I think there's one outside.
Yeah, there's one outside, exactly the same. That one was purchased by its owner from auction. It's still got the auction sticker on the windscreen, and it's come over to us for recommissioning. So the owner wants us to get it running because he's seen what we've got here.
Yeah.
He's seen we've got one. He's seen what we can do. And when obviously you do the TikTok lives, I give people an insight into our world. You know, this is the magic that happens in the workshop. There's the proof. Check out our Google reviews, see our showroom, come and say hello. And if you don't, if you don't feel comfortable, then you don't have to give us the work. But
this is this is a manual. But also, like, when I was speaking to Adnan earlier, he was saying that this has been reupholstered in the original material.
Yes, it has indeed. I mean, if you look at just the seats themselves, there's not even a crease on the bolsters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just immaculate.
For a front seat, although Mercedes do make some of the best seats in the business, but even then, that's
and the door cards, everything from door cards to carpets, it's just been really well kept. And these are the cars. So when we were talking earlier about a lot of youngsters buying old school Mercs, it was like this. So
talking of cars of their era. Yeah, this is the sort of the rude Merc era and that sort of thing, Yeah. But talking of cars of their era, I mean, this is very much a car of its era. But then this car pretty much defines the 1980s. I don't think any car says seriously. I don't think any car says 1980s more than this. No. Down from its extravagant sizes to its broad shoulders, like shoulder pads on this thing. This is a gorgeous car, isn't it?
She is phenomenal. She is just such a joy. This car. It's I think it's got to be one of, I couldn't say that Adnan's got a favourite, but I think this would be definitely in one of his top 3 out of his entire collection. I can't say any more on that.
That's beautiful. Now, some people might go, that's a little bit of an oddity.
This Audi?
Yeah.
Well, this is nice. This is phenomenal. If you have firstly, I have never been in a car where you get pillows with the vehicle. This one, this one comes with, well, there's about 5 cushions in there. And it matches
matching
the
upholstery,
matches the roof lining as well. How insane is that? But it drives really well. And again, it's...
So this was sort of the precursor to the Audi SA, this sort of thing. This was the 200 turbo, isn't it?
This is a 200 turbo,
The 5T, this one. So, and these are rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
And we actually there was a customer that, again, we landed on his FYP page, and he got in touch with us and he said, that's the car I used to own.
Wow.
And he was dying to speak to Adnan to say, let me tell you about this car, let me tell you about this car. And then Adnan rang him and he just had a whole load of history to go through about the story behind why he purchased the vehicle and why he had to sell it. And he said it just made him cry that the fact the car was still here being looked after, which was...
What cars do to you, huh? Yeah, and talking of which, talking of the provenance of finding an old car, I know there's a certain history about that one as well, isn't there?
Let me tell you about this beloved Cressida. So, as a child, Adnan's father owned this very vehicle.
That's amazing.
And he has this thing about number plates.
Yeah.
So he'll remember a number plate randomly, type it into Google. And one day he did that and he found this come up for sale.
And this is the actual car.
Same car.
Yeah.
And he's actually got, I don't know if he showed you earlier, but he's actually got a photo of his parents in front of this car. I think he took it last year or earlier this year. And then he's got another picture of them standing with the same car back then. Amazing. And everything is just immaculate.
And it's not been restored.
No.
So this is extraordinary for a Japanese car of this era to be rust-free like this one is actually in itself quite incredible.
Yeah. So comfortable.
Yeah.
I used to get motion sickness when I was a child, and I think it was something to do with the smell about cloth seats in vehicles. But now, I live for cloth seats. You live for them because wintertime they're so cozy. You don't have to worry about pressing the button for the heated seats on your new modern car and waiting for it to actually kick in. I mean, these cars.
And
I mean,
don't
this
you
one,
find that smell that you mentioned is now actually a time warp smell? It takes you back to that time, doesn't it? Yeah.
And if you do join me on some of the lives, you will actually catch me sniffing through the window and thinking, oh, that definitely smells like a Merc. I did it the other day with the M6 and I thought, oh, yeah, the leather's just been fed on that. It's got a hint of cherry in there.
I'm not going to say too much because that might be a different kind of video, but anyway.
We'll keep it clean. We'll keep it clean.
Let's do that. We've got another kind of Fast and Furious era car. This is the RX-8, which is in itself quite an icon.
Also known as Project Hulk.
Project Hulk. So what's that about?
Accompanied with some Kirklands. This one has just had some major modifications done to it. This one is up for sale. It's just been resprayed. There's just some speckles from the ceiling that's fallen down on that. Resprayed in frozen white. Huge history. If anyone's interested, she's up for grabs.
Wow. What's that one up for? It's 34,995. Amazing. What year is this one? It's an import. I can't see what year it is. Does it say on there? Can't see what it says. 2001. 2001. There you go. Wow. With the carbon mirrors on it. Beautiful.
Impressive.
Yeah.
And then we've got MGB Roadster.
Yeah.
This one has also been restored.
That's just under 15, just under 15k, that one. This
is a lovely, lovely car, but unfortunately, people that own cars like this are slowly it's like a dying breed. So it's very rare to find youngsters that are interested in vehicles like this. They're more interested in modern stuff. However, the gentleman that does currently own this, he is quite a young chap. And I think it was someone in his family owned it prior to him, and his dream was to restore it, keep it for a little while, enjoy it, but he's had a child now, so you got to think about.
I think you're quite right, and I think that what's happening in the market, especially from what I've seen, is that of course classics are a generational thing. So as the older generation for whom these cars were something that they dreamed to or aspired to owning, as they sort of retire or move on or unable to look after the cars anymore, the value starts to dip. But I think that what happens is that at some point it goes full circle again. Because then the younger generation starts to adopt the older cars, especially when the values come down to a point where they can afford them.
They can afford to buy them, and that's what happened with those 190s back when Landbeasts first started. And we had a 21-year-old. He was a fashion student in university, and he said, "I want one of these." And we said, "Well, why would you want to buy one of those?" And he said, "Because my dad had one back in the day." And we did a post, I think maybe 2-3 weeks ago, where we had two. I think one was two boys. One was 17 and the other one was maybe 18. They came in. One of them was fixated on the Mustang.
Yeah, of course, as you would be.
As you would be. And the other one was fixated on the Merc.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, "Why do you like the Merc out of everything here, considering your age?" And he said, "Because I know that these were solid cars back in the day." And again, he said somebody in his family owned one back home. It's just crazy how times change. And I held up a cassette, and I said to one of the boys, I said, "Do you know what this is?" And he said, "It's alien stuff to me." I said, "You don't know what this is?" He said, I don't know. It's just some sort of device. I said, "No." I said, "It's actually a cassette. This is where music was recorded."
Oh my God.
He was just lost. It's insane how times
I still have a box of cassettes, honestly, at home.
We do as well, yeah.
So this is a great starter classic. And for 15k, actually, that's a really good price. That is a bargain. And also, these are well looked after, well serviced. You can buy entire body shells for these. That's not a problem. A car that is a lot more difficult to look after is the next one. But this one has some incredible provenance, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Ex-Virgin Records vehicle.
Richard Branson's own car.
Yes, indeed.
That's incredible.
Sadly, I wasn't around when Adnan purchased this one, but he's got all the history, all the invoices to prove.
And it does say that on there that this was his car.
Yeah, and he had the opportunity to meet him as well, and I think he said, "You've got 5 seconds to ask me anything you want." And the story goes something along the lines of, "How do you run a successful company?" or something along those lines. And he said, "Well, you've got to treat your staff well. If you treat your staff well, your staff will look after your company." Hence why I've been here for about 14 years.
I was going to say, can you testify?
Yes, I can indeed.
So one of the things that fascinated me about this particular car, of course, it's a beautiful shark nose M6, but also in this car,
still got the telephone.
It's still got the telephone,
yeah.
And considering the fact that Richard Branson set up his entire businesses on phones,
yes,
he's spoken into that phone.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I was wondering if you could do like a swab. You might have Richard Branson's saliva in there somewhere.
We could clone him.
That could be worth something.
So this car is incredible. So that is actually, that has got very special provenance, this thing. And also it's beautiful to boot as well. Just look at it.
It is, yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
It does attract a lot of attention.
Well, Kay, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. I know you have other cars, but I think we'll come back another time and we'll look at some of the other cars as well.
More than welcome.
Thank you so much for talking us around this collection.
Not a problem at all. Hope you enjoyed the tour.
Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.